Hello, everyone, and welcome to the SSPI Podcast by Space and Satellite Professionals International. I'm Tamara Bond-Williams, Executive Director of SSPI. This episode is part of our Space and Satellite Futures track, conversations with the people and organizations shaping the next generation of our industry. From workforce development to new markets, these are the stories about how the future is being built. Today, we're welcoming one of SSPI's newest corporate members, GOMspace. GOMspace is a global small satellite manufacturer and mission partner, delivering satellite platforms, subsystems, and mission solutions to government, defense, research, and commercial customers around the world. As demand grows for reliable, repeatable, and scalable satellite systems, GOMspace is expanding its footprint in North America to better serve customers in this market. Joining us today is Slava Frayter, CEO of GOMspace North America and Vice President of GOMspace, who will share how the company is positioning itself in the North American space ecosystem, what makes GOMspace distinctive, and why the company chose to join the SSPI community. Slava, welcome back to the SSPI podcast.
Thank you, Tamara. It's great to be back. It's great to be here with you again. And I'm super excited to be a corporate member of SSPI again.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Listen, I did my best with that intro, but did I get anything wrong?
No, you covered it very well, and that reflects exactly who the company is and the products and solutions that we bring to the market. No, you did really well. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Well, so I want to just kind of give you a little bit of platform. Obviously, we're new to getting to know GOMspace, and some of our listeners may not be aware. So I kind of gave a big picture overview. Is there anything you want to add before I talk a little bit about the specific capabilities that you bring to customers these days?
Yeah, I think GOMspace deserve a little more introduction. It's true that the company has been in the market for a long time. We were established in 2007, so this is the year 19 of being in the small sat ecosystem. So we were actually one of the very few companies that've been on the in the new space ecosystem and on the small sat market for that long and have a long history of success. I'll give a maybe very quick overview. Like you stated in your introduction, we are a small satellite solution provider. Today, our core products are centered around CubeSats, nano and micro satellites. So we build small satellite solutions from 10 to 150 kilogram, and we're moving into a mini and a largest series of buses to 250 kilograms. Our core products are complete satellites and subsystems. So we equally supporting customers that require both type of products. We have a very healthy mix of customers. We support defense and government and defense customers. We have a large customer base of commercial customers and academic markets, so which somewhat new. We're 200 plus employees globally. The company's headquarters is in Denmark, and we have presence in Luxembourg, in the United States, and Sweden. And we're publicly traded. We're publicly traded on NASDAQ Nordic.
Oh, wow. Wow. So you're going to be traded. So that means that you're public.
We're public. Yeah.
Is that also true of the North America division, or is I don't know how these things work.
So North America division is part of the GOMspace. Mm-hmm. So we have business units. So North America is a separate business unit. It is true if you look at our financial reporting, North America reports numbers separately for several reasons, because the company believes in North American market. It's the largest market in terms of global demand. So
Mm-hmm.
and that's why a company puts a lot of effort and priority on expanding the North American presence.
Yeah. 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 It's a very interesting dynamic that so many global companies nevertheless make sure they have a beachhead in North America. I think
Yeah.
we're a little spoiled that way. So,
Yeah.
um, well, okay. So let me ask this question, and
Mhm.
maybe you'll help me understand it. So you mentioned that you do CubeSats and microsats and so forth, and uh, but you're not just building them, right? You're doing capability around these instruments. What kinds of capabilities are you bringing to the customers today, and what kinds of missions are a good fit for GOMspace?
Yeah, great question. So, as I said, over the years, over almost 20 years, we've developed a lot of capabilities, of a lot of expertise, and it continuously evolving. So building complete integrated satellite solutions is still our core market, and customers typically come to us to reduce their risk because
Mm-hmm.
again, we have a R&D and manufacturing facility. We can build single satellite solutions. We can build constellations. So in some of the press releases and public announcements we've made kind of reflect that. We're dealing with a lot of first-time customers who want to build a single satellite, and we're also dealing with constellations. So we built and developed that expertise. We also deal a lot with non-traditional missions, lunar, deep space. So there's a lot of the application varieties is pretty amazing, and we're kind of able to support that integrated payloads. Also, that's something that we support. On the subsystem side, again, that is also a product line that fits the integrator community and science community, even defense community. Customers who want to integrate their own systems, maybe building something that doesn't look like satellite but has satellite components. So they want to
Mm-hmm.
buy parts and pieces and subsystems that GOMspace can provide. And they know that everything we sell as individual components have been flown and part of an integrated solution. So they know their reliability is there, performance is there. But we also realize that once the satellite is launched, the customer needs to operate it. That means they need to contract with ground station provider, and then they need the ability to operate. So we've developed another piece of software that's called Hoop, hands-off operations platform, that
Mm.
allows customers to operate their own satellite and do this autonomously. And it's a piece of software that ComSpace developed, and it's cloud-based platform. Um, but outside of that, because again, the nature of our customers is very different. We're dealing with startups, young startups with not a lot of experience, as well as established companies. But we're also dealing with sovereign nations and defense and government opportunities. And oftentimes they're asking us for capabilities that go beyond just hardware and just software. So we
Mm-hmm.
frequently tasked to assist with launch support. We providing training for a lot of our customers. We help with regulatory paperwork. We help with partnerships. So the focus for us is to provide a comprehensive solution and not just products and not just services. But because we have the portfolio of capabilities, we can bring those capabilities to different customers depending on what they need. So
Yeah, yeah. I was just listening and I was saying, gosh, that's such an interesting array of offerings.
yeah.
Because if you think, as you said, if you think about building satellites, that's a very discrete thing, right? The
Mhm.
satellite is built, you sell it, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
But you're not necessarily that's not necessarily the whole business model. You're also considering what are the parts of a satellite that someone else
Mhm.
might want to buy, and also the end-to-end solution. Well, I don't know if it's end-to-end, but an
Yeah.
overall solution of how to deliver capability, which is It's quite fascinating. I have not heard that particular configuration of service in any other setting. So,
Yeah, it's operational aspect that's going to make a difference. It's a capability. In many cases, it's the capability. Like I said, we're
mm-hmm,
dealing with, sovereign systems, and they're looking at capabilities. And oftentimes that means we need to partner with our customers and provide comprehensive solution.
yeah,
When customers looking for, a data delivery, it's not just a satellite. We could be part piece and component of that solution, and we partner with our customer that will deliver an end-to-end uh, service of some type, or data. So we because we in that ecosystem is because we have partnership with many of our um, players in that ecosystem, we can bring those capabilities, and that's what we're focusing on. We actually stood up two separate divisions, the business units, at the beginning of this year to support exactly that. So
mm-hmm.
we're capable to provide a lot more comprehensive offering to our customers than just hardware and software.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you for that. Well, let me shift gears just a little bit and let's
Sure.
talk about the division that you're CEO over, which is the North America division. Um, why is GOMspace here? Obviously, as we talked about at the very beginning, most companies recognize that there's a great deal of demand here. But what kinds of companies are seeking you out here in the North America region?
Yeah, I think we're established that North America is still the largest, represents the largest share of a global market. This was the case for a legacy satellite market where majority of, let's say, legacy geo service providers or operators or integrators were based or had ties to North America. So I think it's the fact of life that
Mm-hmm.
North America is the largest market in terms of demand, in terms of capabilities, in terms of access to capital, which is the big one.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that we have so many companies entering the new space market is access to capital, and that allows them to develop and grow and succeed or fail. But that dynamic is there. So any company who wants to be part of this ecosystem, and GomSpace certainly recognize that, needs to be in North America. And in order to be in the market, you need to be in the market. So you need to have people in the same time zone. You need to have capabilities, local capabilities. You need to have people that understand that market and know the ecosystem. So
Mm-hmm.
that's exactly why the focus is there. And again, it's the market at vast is it's commercial or government or educational. All elements are there. But yeah, that's a fundamental reason. Largest market, big opportunity. In order to be a player, you need to be in the market.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, like I said, it's quite interesting. I heard you talking specifically about access to capital
Mhm.
and just like you say, being part of the ecosystem that you want to serve, and understanding the market. Well, let me take one step back. Are you standing up the North America division? Are you the founding lead of this new division, or was this division here and you've taken over?
I'm taking over. So the company had North American presence for about 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm taking over and expanding it. So
Very
yeah, I
cool.
think company recognized the importance before me. It's my job to take it to the next level.
Yeah. Okay. Well, they picked the right one. You
I
have such a
hope so.
depth of experience here, so very
Yeah,
good.
so it's interesting that GomSpace is a fourth company that I've been part of, three of which were international. Let's call European/international.
Uh-huh.
So I have a lot of experience developing. non-American brands in North America, and it's the Americas. So the area that my team is covering is the Americas. So we cover Latin America as well, but North America is by far the largest market.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Well, thank you for that. Okay. So when you're thinking about the work that you do and the work that you're hoping to make visible
Mhm.
to North American, well, to the American market writ large. Is there some unique thing that GOMspace is doing that would make really good sense for the region? Like, hey, we can carve out a niche that's special and necessary in our region. And if so, what would that be? And what is it that we need here in the Americas?
Yeah, so North American market, I mean, every market is unique, but
Mm-hmm.
North American market is unique from a different perspective. It's a premium market that understands quality and value.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of markets that are, for example, much more price driven. North America is not one of them. So that's it's a market where people put higher value on quality of your product, delivery, uh, reliability, flight heritage, support than, for example, just on price. So, and that's exactly what our customers are asking. They're asking for reliability, they're asking for performance, and they're asking for speed. So
Mm.
they want products. It's a very dynamic market. It's moving fast. Companies make decisions fast, but they want reliability. They want to deal with stable company that has reliable products at a reasonable price. You still have to be price competitive. This is, yeah,
Yeah, you can't just write your own
yeah,
blank
you
check,
can,
yeah.
yeah, you cannot. But whether it's a commercial operator or a government end user, they want reliability, speed, and scalability. So yeah, and that's exactly what GomSpace is really strong at. We build first time missions, we build constellations, so we can scale, and that's exactly what many customers want to know. They want to know that the company they're working with for their first initial satellite is the same one that can build the next 10 or next 15 or next 20. And they want to have a company that has a flight heritage. So we
Yeah.
have 19 years of flight heritage, successes and failures, but failures that we learn from.
Mm-hmm.
So that's that's our that's our strong suit, and that's what we're bringing to North American market, and that's what customers are responding to.
Yeah. You said this before, and I meant to capture it. You said some people are looking for constellations, some people are looking for single satellites. And I guess I wanted to pause there just because I've gotten so used to thinking about small satellites in the sense of constellations. What kind
Mhm.
of missions are the one-offs doing?
So the reason we're thinking constellations and because we're still thinking comms, we're still
Mm-hmm.
thinking communications, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We think Amazon Leo, we think Starlink. Yes, those are the constellations. When it comes to communication as an application, yeah, you need a massive number of satellites to have a consistent coverage and have a consistent service. What the market we're supporting primarily, by the way, communication is still one of the applications that we support, but bulk of the new applications is in monitoring. So anything that requires protecting and monitoring Earth, land, or sea is what the small satellites are designed for. So Earth observation, um, climate tracking, weather tracking, scientific missions that have cameras and sensors on. That's the bulk of the market today. And
Mm.
whether it's commercial user or government user, those are the applications that predominantly fit well for LEO satellites.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, thank you for that.
Mhm.
That
Yeah,
that's really helpful for
yeah, and
framing.
that's why you don't really need hundreds of thousands of satellites. You need
Hmm.
maybe half a dozen to maybe few dozens of satellites to provide consistent coverage. So you need images of specific area, or you need to track, whether it's weather or some other things. Yeah, you don't need a massive constellation to do that.
Yeah, yeah. No, you're. I needed that framing because, like you say, we get used to thinking about communications
Yeah.
satellites. The big constellations are very, flashy, but it is helpful to think about the fact that actually a big chunk of the LEO market is, or like you said, the majority of it is
Mhm.
the Earth observation market, and that's not constellation necessarily constellation driven. So that's really
Yeah, you
helpful.
can still call it constellations, not as massive as what you would need for communication.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
You are listening to The Better Satellite World, the longest running continuous podcast in the commercial space and satellite industry. The Better Satellite World podcast is funded by the corporate partners of SSPI, Hughes, Access Intelligence, the American Space Exploration Fund, and Qvia. Have you heard about SBQ? Space Business Qualified is a popular online learning program for industry professionals designed by JSOA, SSPI, and SatProf. To learn more, visit spacebq.org. And now back to the Better Satellite World.
Well, okay, so when you think about scalable and repeatable satellite systems, such as we've even just described, like the Earth observation missions that have to
Mhm.
be effective over time, right? In order for Earth observation missions to be successful, you have to be able to see the Earth today and also next week and also the week after
Mhm.
that, right? How are you managing long-term operations and reliability? Is that just built into your systems already, or do you take a specific frame towards that to deliver that for your customer?
Um, so our production uh, capabilities are built, are designed for scalability.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why we're kind of ramping up production. Um, in general, so we could build more satellites. The fact that you're not in most cases dealing with massive constellation means that I cannot say that every satellite, but many satellites that we're building are different. Even the satellites that we're building for the same customer, and we have few examples of that. Every satellite that they build looks different.
Hmm.
It could have different sensors and different cameras on it. It could be different size. Oftentimes, customers graduate from 8U to 12U or 16U, and then sometimes they go even bigger. So the trend in general in industry is that the industry is going bigger because they want to extract more capabilities out of that satellite.
Mm-hmm.
So cameras, so they want to put higher resolution cameras so they can take more precise images, or they want to put more sensors so they can track more objects. So as a result, you need a bigger bus. So the industry is going up. That's kind of why we're going up as well, and then focusing on mini size satellites with the higher capabilities. So, but the basics are the same. The fundamentals are more or less the same. Typically, the payload is different,
Mm-hmm.
but buses are more or less standardized. So we have the ability in our production facility to support, custom builds as well as mass productions.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to ask you two questions
Sure.
just because one of them is immediately relevant and the other is just a thought. So if I heard what you said correctly, it sounds like the same customer might have multiple satellites serving multiple purposes. And in that case, then we're not really talking about a constellation so much as maybe a better word might be that you have a fleet. Does that make sense? Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's what you call it, but yeah, it's a capability. Yeah, you could call it a capability set.
Yeah.
You could call it a fleet. Fleet is the perfect, yeah,
Yeah.
perfect
It,
word.
it just hit me. I was like, yeah, I think we should
Yeah,
call this thing a fleet because it's every satellite has its own purpose, but they all have to operate. That's an interesting
yeah.
frame to think of. But let me ask you a harder question. So you're
Mhm.
building these satellites. They obviously are you have the scalability. You can build more satellites to replace the ones that are up there. You can build different capabilities for different purposes for the same customer. All of this is, admittedly pretty fat.
Mhm.
What's the word I'm looking for? It's pretty amazing, is what I'm trying to get at.
Okay.
But I have to ask the question. It's going to be a critical question going forward. Is what about when the satellites need to come out of orbit? What are you built for the health of the environment in which you're launching? Are you built for that?
Um, yeah. So we're okay. The answer is yes. Sustainability is a critical element, and so it's interesting because last year we when we talked, I was on the space situational awareness and part of a company that's involved in collision avoidance and for satellites. So exactly protecting those space assets and making sure that nothing bad happens in that would impact other satellites or other constellations. So this time I'm contributing to the number of satellites that are now floating in the
Mm-hmm.
Leo belt. Um, yeah, so sustainability is still there. We're still focused on protecting. Flying missions is up to our customers. So our job in many cases is to build a solution, deliver it to the rocket, and help them launch and catalog that satellite. So we provide LEAP for a number of our customers, but operational aspect is still with the operator. And yeah, we all share that responsibility, but there are capabilities in our satellites that would allow them to exit the orbit at the right time.
Yeah.
And from our perspective, our focus, and that's also, by the way, a big differentiator, longevity of that satellite. So LEO satellites are built for, let's say, 5 year, give or take,
Mm-hmm.
to be on orbit. A lot of satellites, the way they build, are not lasting that long. So you have
Wow.
to replace them after 2 or 3 years. So our technology is designed that satellites stay longer in space, and you don't have to replace them that often. So that also indirect contribution to less satellites and longer lifespan and more usable time get you more usable time out of that satellite.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. It is one of the things that I'm committing to making sure that I ask the question every year. I mean, everybody, that as you're thinking about satellites, how are you thinking about the environment in which they live? And that even includes, like you said, making sure that the capability is baked into the satellite, that it has a way to effectively deorbit or even maybe be captured with the new technologies being out there. It's something that we have to keep raising the bar on as we think through it, because the environment is so important and precious to
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
Um, well, let me. I want to ask you two questions. They're related, so I'm asking them as one. So, the number one is, obviously, as you situate yourself in North America, are you finding that the partners that you need to be successful are easily available because of the richness of the environment. And then secondarily, um, what motivated GOMspace to become an SSPI corporate member? Is it just because you love us, Slava?
maybe I'll maybe I'll answer the second question first.
Okay.
So I've been an SSPI member for a very long time, basically since I've entered the industry, which was about 25 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So I was part of 4 companies, 3 of which were SSPI members. 2 of the companies joined SSPI because of my belief in the SSPI as an organization and as a space organization that supports professionals in that space. So I'm been a big supporter. I believe it's a great organization that supports talent and provides incredible networking opportunities for professionals that in that space. Over the years, the events that you organized and supported allowed me began being at different organizations to meet with people,
Mm-hmm.
build relationship, find partners, shared experiences, and it's been a huge value over the years to be part of that organization. So before I convinced GOMspace to join, I looked at the list of companies, and it's actually very exciting that you have new space companies that are also joining your organization, because we have
Yeah.
a different, let's be honest, we have a very different dynamic with legacy space and the new space.
Yeah.
And
Very
legacy
much so.
space is um, consolidating, and a lot of people actually leaving the industry, which is kind of sad. They either leaving the industry or retiring. So
Mm-hmm.
that's another trend we see. I'm not planning to do that. I still have too much energy in me. So, but it was super exciting to see that new space companies are also joining the organization, and I think that's the right thing to do, because the expertise and knowledge that's been developed and built by kind of legacy space can easily be transferred into the new space from a business perspective. So, uh,
Yeah. Yeah. I so appreciate you saying that because it has been, such a dramatic change, and it's been gradual because this has been going on for a lot of years, but we're now far enough in to see just how very different the industry actually is as the new space has become so dominant that I'm not sure you can call it new space anymore. It's like, wait,
yeah.
aren't we just saying space? Right? It's been new space for a good 10 years already.
Mhm.
And like you said, the consolidation and the dramatic change in legacy space companies is just shaping the markets in such different ways. I wonder for whether when you look at the wider playing field and you think about building out GOMspace here in North America, is it the new space players that you're most looking forward to collaborating with? What kinds of companies are you hoping to engage with as you think about the expansion of GOMspace in North America? In the Americas, I should say.
Right. Yeah. So we're looking for companies who want to operate either satellite fleet or constellation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're looking for satellite operators. We're looking to partner with system integrators and prime contractors. We're looking for commercial companies that are looking to provide services. So basically, operators and integrators who want to build and deploy assets to space. But we're also looking for partnerships. So the long term goal for me has always been, and for certainly for GOMspace, is we're looking for a long term partnership and relationship, and that's what North American customers respond to. They want to have a partner. They don't want to have a transactional relationship. They want to know that the partner that they are working with understands what they want to do. And that's, by the way, that's very difficult. The vast number of applications that I never heard of or I never thought about it is just emerging. And
Hmm.
if you don't understand, if you don't have an open mind, if you don't have technical capabilities to understand what the customer wants to do, that's going to be very challenging. So technical expertise and openness and willingness to work with operators is what the North American customers are looking for and what they're responding to. And that's kind of what we want to do. We want to build partnerships. We want to be a trusted supplier of capabilities and to those operators.
Yeah, I really love that. Um, quiet little secret about me. Um, Whenever I'm engaging with new technology, I'm always finding myself asking for things that don't exist because I'm like, well, why doesn't it do this? And it's like, because it doesn't. It doesn't do that. And that's right at the point where you realize that you've bought something as opposed to created a relationship with the company. And what you really need is the relationship because you've come across a need that there's not as of yet a solution for. So you need somebody to build it. Um,
Yeah, you need somebody to understand it. You need somebody with capabilities to build it. And again, as the products and their services evolve, you want your vendors, your partners to evolve with you. Like I
yeah.
said, in most cases, the first satellite we're supporting looks very different from what the rest is going to look like. So you need to be able to support that first initial build, which is in many cases proof of concept.
Hmm.
But the rest of the constellation is going to look and going to do different things. So you need partner to understand that and being able to support that.
Yeah. Are you guys hiring? Are you expanding?
Oh yes, 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 yes. So yeah, we have open positions. I hired. I had one hire last year, and we're looking for more people. Yeah, absolutely. The goal is to expand capabilities and be able to properly support customers in the same time zone with expertise that is local.
Fantastic. Well, I think I'll take this opportunity now to thank you for supporting the Night of Excellence that'll be happening on the 24th of March. You're leading the way with sponsoring the Promise Awards. And so I'm excited to see you in a couple of months, if I don't see you in February, when we have the 2026 New York Space Business Roundtable kickoff. Um, but uh, tell me a little bit more about what you're hoping for the Night of Excellence.
Yeah, well, first of all, we're happy to support and be part of that. What really amazes me and kind of gives me a lot of hope is that um, from what I see today, the new space, again, let's continue calling it new space
Hmm.
ecosystem, is full of talent, and it's a young talent. I'm dealing with CEOs of companies that are in their 20s and early 30s.
Wow.
So they have bright and brilliant ideas. Um, they may need more support on a business side, but they're bright, they're brilliant, they bring in new technologies and they bring in new capabilities. So this is, I think there's going to be a next phase in the satellite and space ecosystem where the new talent is going to come in and change that industry. So we're super excited to support that. We actually have quite a number of we have new young talent at GOMspace as well. So yeah, we definitely want to support that and help them any way we can, and also partner with them because again they bring in capabilities that didn't exist before and new ideas that are very new and innovative.
Fantastic. Well, Slava, thank you again for joining us and welcome back. as a new corporate member to SSPI. We are super excited to have GOMspace as part of our global community.
Thank you, Tamara.
Absolutely. This podcast is made possible by the support of SSPI's professional, student, and corporate members. We are especially grateful for our corporate partners, Access Intelligence, producers of Via Satellite Magazine, and SatShow 2026, Space for Extraordinary. We're also grateful for our corporate partner, the law firm of Clyde & Company, Hughes and EchoStar Company, the American Space Exploration Children's Trust Fund, and QVIA. To learn more about Space and Satellite Professionals International and our Space and Satellite Futures work, visit sspi.org and follow us on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, and X. And new episodes of this podcast, which include The Better Satellite World, Space and Satellite Futures, and She Reaches, Women in Space, are released every Monday on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, or really wherever you get your podcasts. You can also subscribe to the podcast on YouTube at SSPI Video, all one word. For SSPI and our producer, Ari Yates, I'm Tamara Bond-Williams. And for the people and companies building a space and satellite future worthy of our highest aspirations, thank you for all you do.